into the top corner. It's the first time in the history of hockey both teams give a standing ovation.
The 74-75 season was to rank as one of Bobby Orr's best. He scored 46 goals and registered 89 assists to win the Art Ross Trophy and set an NHL record for goals in a regular season by a defenseman. And as usual, he won the Norris Trophy and an All-Star berth.
Puck loose, goes to Jerry Hart of the Islanders. Boston leads 1-0. Halfway through the first period, stolen by Orr. He's in.
Sometimes with certain athletes, it seems as though the world waits for them.
And this is John Lemieux.
Waits to see what magic they'll spin next.
Forbes right in. Scores! Save Forbes!
Waits to be surprised and amazed by the best move ever until the next one comes along.
Allman a shot. Oh, the save! Hooks it away. They get a
Waits for that defining moment when we can turn to each other and say, that was when he won the game. That was the turning point. Bobby Orr never let anyone wait for long, but his effortless style, his unnatural ability to take over a game, to make it his, to make it come out his way, set a standard for hockey players that has us all still waiting for the next Bobby Orr.
57 seconds left in the penalty. Draw to Orr. Quick shot. Score! Bobby Orr off the faceoff. And the draw by Phil Esposito right back to him. Into the corner. Power play goal for Bobby Orr.
Well, point number 108 for both Orr and Esposito. They tied for the league scoring, but these faceoffs very important. Esposito won this cleanly. Back to Orr, and he really blasted that one.
And it goes into Gilbert to Orr. Orr trying to drive it around and struck Wicks. Bounces for Brian Hextall. Stolen by Orr. Orr clears, and that's not icing, and it is a goal! Bobby Orr with 8 seconds left. He's a marksman from anywhere. 250 career goals for Bobby Orr, his 37th, and the Bruins lead 4-2. Now Esposito, Busick, Schmatz, the draw to Orr, turns, fires, scores! Bobby Orr from Phil Esposito, just like that. The 251st for Orr, but his 38th goal this season, and that is a new record in the NHL, held formally by Bobby Orr. Sanderson out first time as Orr rushes. Right inside Marat, and is Orr in, one-hander, and a save, score, Cashman on the rebound. Wilson looking at the empty net. The backhander blocked by Orr. Controlled again by Wilson, and that should do it. Another shot by Wilson and a save by Orr with his stick. He just got a piece of Ellis, and I tell you, if he hits him, they'll feel it. Lead pass in for Orr, deflects to Orr, he's in, and he scores! Bobby Orr! With a break in on a deflected pass, moved in alone on McRae, drew him out and put in the backhander, and it's 1-0 ball.
The best acknowledged the best, and to Larry Robinson, Bobby Orr was in a league of his own.
Evan Cornway, who many considered, one of the fastest skaters in the league, was alone at the blue line, and Bobby was coming back, and he was about at the red line, and he caught Evan before he got to the net. And it was then and there that I realized just what a tremendous athlete, what a tremendous skater he was.
I think that overall, an indication of what a great playmaker he was as a defenseman. He had over 600 assists.
The 74-75 season was terrific for Bobby, but like the hero Achilles, Bobby's greatest years were about to be cut short by a physical problem, and it stemmed from his incredible courage.
He always kept himself in superb physical condition. He played around 195 to 200 pounds, but he went where angels feared to tread. If Orr needed to go into the corner to get the puck, he went into the corner and got the puck. And he played the game with reckless abandon and consequently shortened his career. Marcel Pronovo hit him in Maple Leaf Gardens. That was the first knee injury. The same thing happens when Orr's coming out of his own zone with Pat Quinn coming the other way.
Britt Selby, who was a member of our team at that time, had come across and put Bobby on an angle outside towards the boards, and as a defenseman, I saw that he had no place to go and saw an opportunity to make some contact with Bob, so I stepped up and caught him just inside his blue line with what I believe was a shoulder check. Unfortunately, I hit Bob hard in the chin and knocked him unconscious.
my head was down, and there was another Leaf player when I'm trying to kick the puck up the boards, and Patty came across, and he just, when I dropped my head, the height I was at, and Patty's a big guy, and he charged a little bit, but if I had been standing up and my head hadn't been so close to the board and so on, I probably wouldn't have even been hurt, and he might have got a 2-minute penalty. But Pat Quinn isn't a player that wants to go and hurt guys. I mean, he'd hit guys, and he's a big man.
It takes a tremendous amount of courage to play hockey. Bobby had a tremendously high pain tolerance, and he was not afraid of situations. He would go in. That's why he got injured. He would drive to the net injured. He would drive to the net hurt. He played that way every night.
Bobby Orr.
Orr paid a steep price for being the best. He was the guy other teams keyed on. He was the guy with a target on his chest. Stop Bobby and you stop the Bruins. That's what they said, and sometimes that's what they did. Hockey is a tough sport. Hockey players expect to hit and be hit. Orr took his share, maybe more than his share, and always came back for more. He played hurt, he played in constant pain, but he never stopped playing like Bobby Orr. And that, too, is the mark of greatness.
Bobby had the bad knee for a lot of years, and he was told. We used to tell him, Bobby, take it easy. Can't. I don't know how.
People would say to me, gosh, they're trying to hurt you. Hockey is a tough game, and hockey is a contact game. And when you play like I played, like to carry the puck, and the guy that has the puck, that's the player that they're going to key on. And when you carry the puck a lot in a contact game, you're going to be hit a lot. And I was hit a lot, but that was my own fault. And I had a bad knee, so my style certainly didn't help my problem.
Bobby continued to play his own inimitable, flat-out, crowd-pleasing style. But the good nights were getting harder to come by. His knees were causing woes that only he could describe, but he never did. He never used them as an excuse. Injuries kept him out of many games over the next few seasons, but they couldn't keep him from one final glorious hurrah in 1976.
I'd never played for my country in international hockey, and in '76 finally getting an opportunity to play for Canada in the Canada Cup obviously was a highlight, something I'll always remember. So it's one of the highlights of my career. Winning the Canada Cup, it's right up there with the Stanley Cup, no question about it. No question.
I was very fortunate in '76 in the Canada Cup to have Bobby as my defense partner, and I don't know the pain that he went through, but I realize that what a tremendous athlete he was, and a competitor, in that he was in such pain that he couldn't even practice between games, and after every game there was 6-8 ice packs around his knees, and yet probably one of the most difficult men I've ever had to play with, because he was so smart. You never knew what he was going to do, so I just give it to him and let him go.
His damaged knees had kept Orr out of the '72 Soviet series, but he made up for it in the '76 Canada Cup, winning the tournament's most valuable player award. As it turned out, this was the last time fans would get to see Orr at the top of his game.
He knew that inevitably that was going to come to an end, and I think he knew in the Canada Cup of '76, when he played so masterfully, that there was just so much juice left in that leg, and there wasn't a lot left now.
I remember him playing for Chicago, and I was with the Rangers. He was in pain. You could see it on the ice. He was still as good as anybody on the ice, by the way. But you could see he was in tremendous pain, and like you always try to do, you try to take advantage of that, and the thought was throw it in his corner and make him turn so on his bad knee, and try to hit him and all that other stuff, and that bothered me a lot.
After the Canada Cup, Bobby continued to play, when his terribly banged up knees allowed, for Boston and later Chicago.